Local farms are on the decline. A census done by the American Farm Bureau Federation shows the U.S. lost more than 140,000 farms from 2017 to 2022. A similar survey by MSU Extension shows Michigan lost slightly more than 2,000 farms in that same time period. Mid-Michigan Now's Kyle Macon speaks with a dairy farmer and a professor to see how local farms are doing in Michigan.
When I graduated college 8 years ago, there was about 2,000 dairy farms left in the state of Michigan, and now there's only about 1,000.
Quentin Cook is a fourth-generation farmer in Ortonville. His family opened Cook's Farm Dairy in 1933, a time when the U.S. Department of Agriculture says farming in America was at its peak with nearly 7 million farms. Today, things are different, with fewer than 2 million. Cook says the younger generations just don't want to work on a farm.
Generations coming up have a harder time accepting the lifestyle of being a dairy farmer or other farms in general.
And for others who might consider farming, it's not an easy field to seed.
Just the startup costs with any endeavor involving farming, the land, the livestock, the housing and barns, whatever it is, it's just substantially more than ever before, really, in human history. And so to get going and start small is so much harder.
That tends to be somewhat overstated as an issue. There is some land that is owned by foreign companies.
Professor Bill Knutson at Michigan State University says some people believe foreign investment is driving the American farmer out. The USDA says roughly 3.5% of American farmland is foreign owned. Here in Michigan, the number is 2%, and some think it's China buying up that land. But Professor Knutson says they would be wrong.
The largest foreign landowner is actually Italy and Italian companies, which you wouldn't really think of. But we haven't seen a lot of purchases of land from Chinese firms or the Chinese government.
Knutson is a visiting professor of agriculture economics at MSU. He says if local farms are being bought out, it's by large U.S.-owned companies.
Farmland remains a very good asset in that the value of the land goes up, and so do rental rates. And so it's a good source of income, and it's a good source of capital gains.
USDA numbers indicate nearly all farmland in Michigan is owned by American interest. At Cook's Farm Dairy, Quentin Cook believes if a few businesses own a large portion of the farming industry, it could spell trouble for consumers, similar to what we saw during the pandemic when grocery stores struggled to keep food on the shelves.
When you have many more smaller dairies, vegetable growers, those kind of things in your area, it's supply on demand right in your local community.
Cook says another issue with larger corporations is the carbon emissions they produce in getting products to the store.
Those gallons of milk have come from dairy cows in Wisconsin to a distribution site in Chicago to a processing plant in Toledo, all the way to your Michigan grocery store. And so I think buying local, first of all, keeps everything really tight-knit and efficient and eco-friendly.
So how do we get more local people interested in starting independent farms?
If those incentives and those interest rates and those things could be better for people to get going and get on their feet and get established like we've been for the last 100 years, that's really key.
Cook also says, don't bite off more than you can chew, so to speak. Start small and work your way up.
I think often we can have this grandiose idea or romantic idea in our heads of, oh, I could have this huge vegetable garden that has all the things I need for a salad or something. Well, maybe let's just start with the lettuce.
To help people get into the farming industry, the state of Michigan has multiple grants for people looking to build an operation. They also have multiple programs looking to introduce people of all ages to the agricultural industry. For more information, visit our website, midmichigannow.com. In Burton, Kyle Macon.